Welcome. It's Facts You Don't Know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more, well, and first make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
Manager kicked out a poor girl from the restaurant. Later, she becomes his boss. There's a popular saying that says, anything you do in this life can be returned up to 2 times. This means that if you act well, life can reward you with good fortune. Before continuing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on the bell to receive all my content. And if you've done wrong, you must abide by the consequences. The story that I bring you today was lived in a province of Bolivia. To be exact, it happened in Cochabamba. There lived Sonia, daughter of Mrs. Marta, who had a restaurant all her life. This restaurant was called Aunt Marta's Restaurant. It was so called because she fed a few low-income family. The mother of this family helped him wash the pots or dishes, while the man swept the front of the restaurant and the 2 children. They had called the owner of this restaurant Aunt, and from there the name of Aunt Marta was born. The restaurant was well known throughout the city for the delicious dishes that were prepared there. Every day it was full. But Mrs. Marta did not stop the habit of feeding the needy people, so she prepared more to be able to give something to eat to anyone who asked. Mrs. Marta taught Sonia to cook from a very young age. She wanted her daughter to keep the business that she'd sustained all her life. But the truth, Sonia, who at that time was 12 years old, was not that she liked the idea very much. She had other plans in mind. The thought of her was of being a famous dancer. But the path that Mrs. Marta wanted her daughter to take was totally different. Over time, Sonia was already becoming fond of the restaurant because she realized the amount of money it produced and because Sonia was realizing that this lifestyle could work. Sonia alternated her studies with work in the restaurant. She studied in the mornings, and as soon as she left class, she ran to help her mother. Mrs. Marta was already getting older. She, even though she was very active despite her age. But the years do not come alone. They come with the ailments of age. Marta made the decision to ask Sonia, who was 20 years old at the time, to take over this restaurant, which she'd given them for many years so that they could live well. But please keep her on top, just as she was at the time. Marta asked this of Sonia because she already felt tired and out of breath to work as she did before, and she'd already made this decision to be able to spend the last years in a calm and relaxed way at home and be able to enjoy her savings. Sonia took charge of the business under the supervision of her mother, because even though she had said that she was not going to interfere in her daughter's decisions, she couldn't resist that desire to correct some mistakes that she had, because she couldn't allow the business of her life to fail. So 2 years passed, and one morning in April, when she was alone at home because there was one in the restaurant, she felt a strong pain in her chest, and from one moment to another, she had a sudden heart attack that did not give her time for anything. Sonia, upon reaching home, found her mother lying face down in the living room. Seeing this image was very hard for her. She ran to her rescue, but unfortunately, it was too late for her. Sonia was left alone, but you have to see the positive side of the story. Sonia was left with a house, the restaurant, and a few savings, so she wouldn't have to worry about money. A year later, she made the decision to go live with her boyfriend, or rather, she took her boyfriend to live in the house that her mother had left her as an inheritance. One day, a girl who was of limited resources passed by, asking for some collaboration of each of the tables. She asked because her parents had no jobs and were starving. And this girl wanted to help by asking people with a good heart to be able to take home, so if it were a piece of bread, it'd make her poverty more enjoyable. Sonia had forgotten the values that her mother had taught her because she did the opposite of what Mrs. Marta had instilled in her. For example, helping those most in need. And I say this because every time this girl passed by asking, Sonia got furious and took her out of this place. But Marina, which was the name of this beggar girl, kept passing by without caring what they're told because the people who ate gave her money. And the truth is she didn't need to order anyone else because with what people gave her in this restaurant, she was enough to bring food to her parents. Thus the time passed. Marina was already quite a young lady, about 16 years old. She was old enough to get a job so she could help with her household expenses. One day she went to Sonia's restaurant because it was her favorite place. She spoke with Sonia and told her if she would please give her a job, that she needed it, and she'd do whatever it took. She just needed a chance to show her that she was a good person. Sonia looked at her from head to toe. Since Marina did not have the best clothes for obvious reasons, she said the following. "Do you think that a poor person like you can work in this place?" "No, miss. Besides, I don't have room for more people. So please go away. You're making the restaurant look bad." Marina felt discriminated against by Sonia's words. so she stared down at the floor. Marina started working in a bakery. Her father accompanied her every day so she would not go alone, because the road was long and could be dangerous for a young woman as beautiful as her. Or that was what her father thought. Why Marina, for her, was the most beautiful in the world. One day, when her father was going to accompany her when she was leaving work, a car went off the road, and when it got on the pedestrian platform, it ran over Marina's father, causing him death. At that time, things for Marina changed completely, as the driver of that car was intoxicated. So the authorities ruled that it had been the absolute responsible and should compensate the family of this man. As things of fate, this man who caused the death of Marina's father was Sonia's husband, and the sum of the money that the judge had determined was so high that for Sonia, with tears in her eyes, had to hand over the house and the restaurant to Marina in order to comply with what was estimated by the authorities and the judge. Marina took possession of the restaurant, and seeing that Sonia was the woman who had humiliated him in such a cruel way, she wanted to teach her a lesson that would never be forgot. Marina told Sonia not to worry, that she hired her to continue as the site administrator. Therefore, life showed Sonia that people who had acted badly and do not help those most in need can do twice as bad. And in this way, she learned her lesson, since she'd gone from being manager and owner who despised beggars to being the employee of one of them. Thank you for visiting us. If you liked the video, please like it and share it with your friends. Until next time. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.